I died choking on my own blood in the trunk of that goddamn Chevy. The kind of rust bucket rustics like my sister swore by for keeping it real in our Podunk, Ohio town. The last thing I saw before the darkness swallowed me was her face, Lila's, twisted in that fake-ass sympathy she'd perfected, mouthing it'll be quick, Val, as the duct tape sealed my screams.
And now?
Now I'm gasping awake in my old twin bed, the one with the faded unicorn sheets I outgrew at 12, my heart hammering like a jackrabbit on meth, staring at the ceiling fan that's still got that wobbly blade from when Dad tried to fix it with a butter knife. It's 2015. Not the rainy Tuesday in 2023 when Lila finally cashed in on her Golden Girl act by framing me for embezzling from the family business, the one she'd been bleeding dry for years.
No.
This is the summer before senior year of high school. The air thick with cicada hum and the faint rot of the Cuyahoga River drifting in through my cracked window. My hands fly to my neck, expecting the raw rope burns from where she accidentally left me hanging in the garage during one of her rage fits. Nothing.
Smooth skin.
But the scars?
Oh.
They're there. All right. Faint silvery lines snaking up my forearms from the night she locked me in the shed with the lawnmower gas during a family intervention gone south. Scars from the fire that wasn't my fault. The one the town whispered about for years. Valentina's little accident.
Lies.
All of it. Her lies. I bolt upright, the room spinning like a bad trip. Mom's voice floats up from downstairs, hollering about breakfast, pancakes, and bacon. Her go-to for pretending our family's not a powder keg with a lit fuse.
Val.
Get your butt down here before it gets cold. Same as always. But I'm not the same. Not anymore. I clench my fists, nails digging into palms, and whisper to the empty room. This time, Lila, you don't get to bury me. Revenge isn't a word, it's a pulse. Hot and insistent, flooding my veins like the cheap whiskey she'd ply me with to keep me quiet. High school kicks off like a rerun of a nightmare I can't fast forward. Riverside High, that squat brick fortress on the edge of Cleveland's Rust Belt, where dreams go to die under fluorescent lights and the stench of gym socks. I'm 15 again, no. 16. The calendar on my wall confirms it, sitting in homeroom, pencil tapping a frantic Morse code against my desk. Kids stream in, laughing about summer flings and four-night wins, oblivious to the bomb I've got ticking inside me. Lila's a year ahead, queen bee of the cheer squad, already dating that douchebag quarterback, Tyler, who's got a truck bed full of beer and a daddy who owns half the auto parts stores in Summit County. First period English. And there's Mr. Hargrove droning on about the Great Gatsby like it's not a blueprint for how the rich screw the poor. I zone out, my mind replaying the trial. The one where Lila testified, tears streaming down her Botox-smooth cheeks, about how I'd snapped after the fire, how I'd stolen from the family auto shop to fund my druggy habits. The jury ate it up. Small-town folks love a villain, especially one with scars to prove she's unhinged. Dad nodding along from the stand, Mom dabbing her eyes with a handkerchief that smelled like Chanel No. 5 and denial. They buried me alive in that courtroom. And then she finished the job in the trunk. A crumpled note lands on my desk. Freak show arms. Hide 'em, or we'll make you. And signed, but I know it's from Brittany. Lila's shadow. The one who followed her like a starved dog. In my old life, I'd crumple it, shove it down, let the shame fester until it ate me hollow. Not this time. I smooth it out. Stand up mid-lesson, Hargrove's sputtering, Miss Russo, and march to the front, Note flapping like a white flag of surrender. Hey, class, I say. Voice steady as a surgeon's knife. Anyone else get anonymous death threats before 9 a.m.? Or is this just the welcome wagon for the girl with the battle wounds? The room erupts, gasps. Snickers. Hargrove's face turning the color of overripe tomatoes. Brittany's eyes widen like saucers. And I lock on her, smiling that sweet Southern Belle grin Mom drilled into us for polite society. Britt. Honey, if you're gonna threaten me, at least sign your work. Makes it easier to frame you when the principal asks.
Boom.
The bell rings. Chaos spills into the hall. And I feel it, the first crack in Lila's perfect facade. Word spreads like wildfire on dry grass. By lunch, I'm not the pariah anymore. I'm the girl who called bullshit. Home that night is the usual minefield. Dad's in the garage, wrenching on a '72 Mustang he's never gonna finish, muttering about kids these days and the shop's dipping profits. Mom's in the kitchen, flipping through Better Homes and Gardens, her pearls a shield against the mess we've become. Lila saunters in late, cheer uniform still crisp, Tyler's Letterman jacket slung over her shoulder like a trophy. Val, she says, all sugar and saccharin. Heard you caused a scene. Trying to steal my spotlight again. Her eyes flick to my arms, long sleeves today. But she knows what's under. Always has. I pour myself a glass of milk, casual as a cat stretching in the sun.
Nah.
Just calling out the resident bully's lapdog. You train her well. Cease. Mom's head snaps up, fork midway to her mouth.
Valentina Marie Russo.
That's no way to talk about your sister. Dad grunts from the doorway, grease-streaked rag in hand. Girls, enough. Shop's got bills piling up. Last thing we need is more drama. Drama. That's rich. If they only knew the real drama, the one where Lila siphoned thousands from the till to fund her coke habit and that secret abortion in Pittsburgh she swore me to secrecy over. The one where she torched the shed to cover the evidence of her joyride in Dad's prized Camaro, blaming it on my blackout rage. Scars from the flames that should have been hers. I swallow the milk, bitter on my tongue, and nod. Sorry.
Ma.
Won't happen again. But it will.
Oh.
It will. Weeks blur into a calculated dance. I join the debate club, not the cheer squad. That's her turf. But debate, where words are weapons and logic's the ammo. I research.
Idee.
I memorize every lie she's ever told. Tyler's parties become my hunting ground. I show up in thrift store jeans and a smirk, nursing a soda while she grinds on him to Kesha remixes. One night, under the pulsing strobe of Christmas lights strung in his parents' basement, I corner Brittany in the bathroom line. Heard Lila's got a side hustle. I whisper, close enough to smell her vanilla body spray. Something about fake IDs for the freshmen. You in. Her face crumples like wet paper.
What? No. I.
Save it. I saw the printer in her room. Epson. Right? Serial number matches the one Dad bought for the shop.
Lie.
But it lands. She bolts. And by Monday, whispers circulate. Lila's dealing. Not drugs, worse. In a town like this. Forging docs that could land you in juvie. The principal calls her in. Dad fumes about disappointment, and Mom cries into her rosary. Lila shoots me daggers across the dinner table. But I just butter my roll and smile. It's building. This storm. I feel it in my bones. The same ache from that trunk, the claustrophobia of secrets pressing in.
But now,
I'm the one holding the key.
or so I think.
Fall turns crisp, leaves crunching underfoot like brittle bones as we head into Thanksgiving prep. The family party's at Aunt Carla's, sprawling ranch house in the suburbs. The kind with a pool nobody uses and a liquor cabinet stocked for the end times. Lila's in her element, flitting between cousins, her laugh a tinkling bell that grates like nails on chalkboard. I'm on cider duty, spiking mine with a splash of bourbon from Uncle Ray's stash. When it happens, the kids, her kids, in this timeline?
No. Wait.
That's future Echo. Little ones from the extended clan, toddling around with turkey feathers glued to paper plates. I'm in the living room, sleeves rolled up to help with crafts, when Dad sidles over, beer in hand, eyes glassy.
Val.
What the hell happened to your arms? He says it loud, like he's announcing the score of the Browns game. Heads turn. Mom hisses his name, but it's too late. Laughter ripples, nervous at first, then mean. Uncle Ray chuckles. Looks like you lost a fight with a cheese grater.
Kiddo.
Aunt Carla titters.
Oh.
Honey, those are distinctive. Lila's across the room, frozen mid-sip of her rose, her eyes screaming murder. But then she snaps, voice slicing through the din like a switchblade. Hide that before the kids see.
Jesus. Val.
Nobody wants to explain your freak show to toddlers. The room goes pin-drop silent. Forks clatter.
A cousin chokes on pie.
I stand there, feathers stuck to my palms, the scars glowing under the chandelier like accusations. In my old life, I'd have bolted to the bathroom, sobbed into a hand towel, let the shame carve deeper grooves. But this is the hook she handed me on a platter. I meet her gaze, slow and deliberate, and say, freak show? Coming from the girl who burned her own sister alive to cover her tracks? Bold. Lila.
Gasps.
Actual gasps. Like we're in some Lifetime movie. Dad's beer slips from his hand, shattering on the hardwood. Mom whispers, "What did you say?" And Lila? She lunges. But I sidestep, grabbing a photo frame from the mantel, the one of us as kids, arms around each other at Disney World. Innocence long gone. Ask her about the shed.
Dad.
Ask her why the fire marshal's report got lost in the shop files. Chaos erupts. Aunts herding kids upstairs. Uncle Ray yelling for calm. Lila shrieking. She's lying. She's crazy. But I'm not. Not anymore. As the family fractures around us, accusations flying like buckshot, I feel the first real taste of power. Revenge isn't sweet, it's scorched earth. And I'm just getting started. The fallout from Thanksgiving hits like a freight train derailing in slow motion. Aunt Carla's house clears out faster than a Black Friday stampede. Relatives piling into minivans with half-eaten pie tins and side-eyes that could curdle milk. Dad hauls Lila into the garage for a talk, the kind that ends with slammed tools and bruised egos, while Mom drags me to the kitchen, her grip on my wrist tight, enough to leave marks of her own. Valentina, what in God's name was that? She hisses, her face a war zone of mascara streaks and lipstick smears. You can't just
accuse your sister like that.
Not in front of family. I wrench free, the bourbon still buzzing warm in my belly, and lean against the granite counter. Fancy upgrade she got after Dad's bonus year. Accuse?
Ma.
It's the truth. She locked me in the shed that night. Poured the gas. lit the match. All because I caught her sneaking out with Tyler, joyriding in the Camaro. The words tumble out. Unfiltered. Years of therapy sessions I never had in the old timeline spilling like bile. Her eyes widen, then narrow. That familiar Russo, denial kicking in. That's not. Honey, you were drunk. You don't remember, right?
Drunk.
At 13. On her cooking sherry. Yeah, that tracks. I laugh. Short and sharp. The sound echoing off the Sub-Zero fridge. Remember? I remember the flames licking my legs. The screams that sounded like mine. I remember you and Dad signing the NDA with the insurance guy so the shop wouldn't tank. Protecting her. Always her. She slaps me then, not hard, but enough to sting. Her palm connecting with my cheek like a punctuation mark on our broken bond. Enough. You're tearing this family apart. Tearing it apart. If she only knew how whole it looked from the outside while it rotted from within. I touch my face, tasting salt, and nod. You're right.
Ma.
My bad. But as I grab my coat and slip out the back door, the Ohio chill biting through my thin sweater, I know it's not over. It's just intermission. School's a circus the next week. My outburst goes viral in the group chats. Riverside's got that small-town telegraph system. Faster than Verizon. Brittany's ghosted Lila. Tyler's dodging her calls. And even the cheer coach benches her for attitude. I keep my head down, but not too down. Debate practice becomes my war room, where I sharpen arguments like switchblades. Research on arson laws, insurance fraud, sibling abuse stats. I print it all, stuff it in a shoebox under my bed labeled Lila's Greatest Hits. Winter digs in, snow blanketing the rusting swing set in our backyard like a shroud. Christmas looms. That forced merriment holiday where Mom overcompensates with tinsel and spiked eggnog. Lila's unraveling, snapping at Dad over dinner. Skipping school to study at Tyler's. Coming home with dilated pupils and excuses thinner than her yoga pants. One night, I catch her in the bathroom, rifling through my makeup drawer. Looking for concealer? I ask from the doorway, arms crossed. She freezes, compact in hand, her reflection fractured in the mirror like our sisterhood. For your scars?
Nah.
Those are badges now. Her eyes flash green like mine, but hers always had that predatory glint. This is for me. Bruises from practice. She yanks up her sleeve, revealing purple blooms on her forearm. Tyler's handiwork. No doubt. In the old life, I'd have cooed sympathy, patched her up with Neosporin and lies about how boys will be boys. This time, I step closer, voice low. He hit you?
Good.
Maybe you'll finally get a taste of what you served up. She lunges, nails raking my arm, drawing fresh beads of blood over old scars. We grapple, hair pulling.
Knee jabs.
The kind of dirty fight only sisters perfect. Mom bursts in, shrieking, "Stop it. Both of you." Dad hauls us apart, his face thunderous. What the hell is wrong with this house? Grounded. Both of us. 2 weeks of house arrest. Snowed in with tension thick as fog off Lake Erie. That's when I make my first real move. Late night, while they're snoring off the painkillers from holiday cookie benders, I sneak into Dad's office. The shop's books, those dog-eared ledgers he still uses because computers are for sissies, spill their secrets under my phone's flashlight. Discrepancies. Thousands funneled to consulting fees that trace to a P.O. box in Akron. Lila's alias. I bet my left scar on it. I snap photos, upload to a burner email, and sleep like the dead for the first time since waking up. New Year's Eve party at the VFW hall, boozy bingo and bad country covers, is where the controversy brews. Tyler's there, arm around a freshman with daddy issues. Lila's shooting venom from across the sticky-floored room. I nurse a ginger ale, chatting up the old vets about Korea and Nam. Their story's a bomb against the family farce. Then she corners me by the punch bowl, breath sour with Boone's Farm. You think you're hot shit now, Val? Spilling your psycho tales? Dad's cutting you out of the will. Shop's mine. I swirl my drink, ice clinking like handcuffs. Will?
Cute.
How about the audit I tipped off the IRS about? Your fees are gonna make great reading in federal court. Bluff, mostly. The email's queued. One click from sending. Her face drains of color, lips parting in that fish gape she does when cornered. You wouldn't. Watch me. I walk away, heart pounding. The band's twangy rendition of Friends in Low Places mocking us both. January thaws into mud season, and the cracks widen. Dad confronts her over breakfast, ledger in hand, voice cracking like thin ice. Lila, what the fuck is this? 20 grand to some ghost account. She cries, Oscar-worthy sobs, blaming stress and needing help. Mom bundles her off to a therapist in Cleveland, the fancy one with the leather couch and $100 sessions.
Me?
I'm the villain now. Whispers of troublemaker following me down grocery aisles. But I don't care. Each sidelong glance is a brick in my wall. Spring blooms. Prom season hits like a hormonal hurricane. Lila's dateless. Tyler's exes forming a spiteful sorority. She begs me, actually begs, in the hallway. Voice a whisper shriek.
Val. Please. Talk to him.
Tell him I'm sorry. I tilt my head, feigning pity. Sorry for what? The lies? The fire? Or the fact that you framed me for your mess and watched me burn, literally? Her slap lands, echoing off lockers, drawing a crowd. Security hauls her off, suspension papers in hand. I taste blood from a split lip, but it's victory red. Graduation nears. Cap and gown fever gripping the town. Lila's spiraling, skipping classes, shoplifting mascara from the CVS. Dad catching her with a baggie of pills in the Mustang's glove box. Oxy, he says. Defeated. Tossing it in the trash. Mom prays harder. Novenas stacking like cordwood. I apply to OSU early decision. Essay on resilience through fire, literal and figurative. Acceptance letter arrives. Full ride scholarship. Fate's got a sense of humor. But the real heat builds in May. At the annual Russo Auto family picnic. Backyard blowout. Ribs on the grill. Corn on the cob. The whole clan descending like locusts. Lila's on thin ice. Forced to play nice. Her smile a rictus grin as she mans the cooler. I'm in cut-off shorts, scars on full display. Tanned and unapologetic, chatting with cousins about college plans. Then Dad pulls me aside. By the fire pit. Embers glowing like accusations.
Val.
Your sister's.
Struggling.
Says you put her up to some shit with Tyler. Forged notes or something. I meet his eyes, brown like mine. Weary from decades of looking away. Struggling?
Dad.
She's a thief. A liar. She tried to kill me. The words hang, heavy as humidity. He rubs his neck. The telltale Russo evasion. That's ancient history. Water under the bridge. Bridge? She lit the match. I pull out my phone, thumb hovering over the IRS email. One tap, and it's all out. The fraud. The fire cover-up. Your choice. His face crumples, the big man reduced to a whisper. Please.
Vol.
The shop. It's all we've got. Betrayal. Round 2. But this time, it's his. I hit send. Sirens wail that night, not fire trucks, but badges. Feds swarm the garage, badges flashing, questions sharp as box cutters. Lila's hauled in cuffs, screaming my name like a curse. Mom collapses on the porch. Dad stares at the stars like they owe him answers. And me, I watch from the swing, the chains creaking a lullaby of justice. But revenge? It's a hungry beast. And it's just what its appetite. Summer scorches in, the kind of Ohio heat that turns asphalt to tar and tempers to tinder. The shop shuttered, yellow tape fluttering like surrender flags, while Dad lawyered up, Mom popping Xanax like tic-tacs. Lila's in county, awaiting trial on fraud charges. Her mugshot splashed across the Cleveland Plain Dealer. Local teen embezzles family fortune. The byline's mine.
Anonymous tip.
But I know she knows. Bail denied. Judge cited flight risk after Tyler's tearful testimony about her manipulative ways. Poetic?
That.
I pack for OSU. Duffel stuffed with hoodies and hurt. The scholarship a lifeline out of the sinkhole. But leaving? Not clean. Not yet. Visits to the jail become my ritual. Sterile room. Plexiglass divider. Her orange jumpsuit clashing with the green of her eyes. First time. She presses the receiver to her ear. Voice a rasp. You bitch. This is your fault. I lean in. Close as the barrier allows. Fault? Like blaming the match for the fire?
Nah.
Sis. This is consequence. She rants about Dad's favoritism, Mom's neglect, my stuck-up scholarship dreams. You always had to one-up me. From the scars on, I trace one with my nail, the line puckered like a seam. These, they're yours. Your gift. And now, so's this. I slide a manila envelope under the slot. Printouts of her emails to Tyler. Sexts laced with threats. Coke deals coded in emojis. Leverage for your plea. Or don't.
Brat.
For all I care. Guilt gnaws. Though not the old kind, gnawing at my worth. But new. Sharper. Is this me? Or the ghost of her haunting nights? I dream of the trunk again. Her face blurring with mine. Screams echoing in stereo. Wake sweating. The unicorn sheets tangled like restraints. Fall semester starts. Columbus a whirlwind of brick arches and Buckeye bravado. Dorm smell of ramen and regret. Poli-sci lectures firing neurons dormant since the trunk. I major in criminal justice. Ironic. Yeah. Dissecting cases like autopsies. Fraud 101. White-collar sins. The kind that destroy slower than arson, but cut deeper. Friends trickle in. Jamal from debate. With his quick laugh and quicker wit. Sarah. The psych major who sees through my armor without prying. Parties. 2 beers on High Street. Hookups that blur the edges, but always. The shoebox from home. Tucked in my footlocker. Whispers reminders. Thanksgiving break yanks me back. The house is a husk, furniture shrouded in drop cloths. Mom's rosary beads clicking like a metronome of mourning. Dad's in the den, nursing a fifth of Jack. Shop dreams evaporated. Val, he croaks. Your sister's plea hearings tomorrow.
Come.
For me. I go. Not for him, but to witness the unraveling. Courthouse reeks of stale coffee and despair. Small-town justice theater. Lila in chains, hair limp. The firecracker dulled to ash. Public defender drones about youthful mistakes, but the prosecutor, sharp-suited shark, lays it bare. Embezzlement. Arson cover-up. Endangerment. Dad testifies. Voice breaking on my girls. Mom weeps silently. Then me. On the stand. Oath heavy as manacles. She locked me in. Lit it up. Blamed me. The gallery murmurs. Flashes from the local rag. Lila's glare could melt steel. But I hold it. Scars itching under my blouse. Verdict. Guilty. 5 years. Probation after. Restitution to the shop, if there's anything left. She screams as they drag her. Val, you promised. But I didn't. Not really. Outside. Dad slumps against the wall. Mom's hand on his shoulder. It's over, she says. But her eyes beg, fix this. Not my circus anymore. Back at OSU. The twist coils like smoke. A letter arrives, jail stationery. Lila scrawl. You win. But check the attic. The real fire starter. Attic? Our house has no attic. Just a crawlspace Dad calls the devil's pantry. Heart slamming. I drive home unannounced. Mom out at mass. Dad at a job interview. Dishwasher at the diner. Rock bottom. Flashlight in hand. I pry the hatch. Dust motes dancing like fireflies in hell. Boxes of Christmas ornaments. Old yearbooks. And there, tucked behind insulation, a metal lockbox. Rusted like regret. Keys taped underneath. Her touch. Inside, photos. Not family snapshots, but horrors.
Me.
At 13. Passed out on a couch. Tyler's hand on my thigh. Lila's note. Proof she's the slut. More, ledgers. Not shop ones. But hers, tracking debts from high school dealers. IOUs signed in my name. And, the kicker, a paternity test. Yellowed. Addressed to Mom. Tyler Jenkins. 99.9% match. Father, unknown Russo. My world tilts. Tyler? Dad? No, the math. Lila's flings. My drunken night she orchestrated. She's the mother. I'm the aunt?
No.
The tests for a baby, hers. Hidden. Given up.
But the dates.
Overlap with mine. Twins? Switched at birth? The paper blurs. Tears hot. Betrayal's hydra-headed. She didn't just burn me. She stole my origins. Framed me as the chaos to crown herself victim. Phone buzzes, Jamal. Checking in. I crumple the test. Stuff it back. Drive to the prison. Demand a visit. She's smug through the glass. Knew you'd come. The scars? Not from fire.
Val.
From the truth. Mom's affair, Dad's brother. You're the bastard. I covered for you. Protected the family name. Lies. Twisted. And the shed? Payback for you sniffing too close to my secrets. Rage boils. But colder now, calculated. Protected?
You framed me.
Killed my life. She laughs. Brittle. Join the club. Now we're even. Even?
No.
But the twist hits, revenge's mirror. I've become her, Machiavellian. Scarred inside. Do I expose it all? Ruin Mom?
Dad.
The fragile piece? Or bury it deeper? Let the sins compost into something like forgiveness? I choose the third way. Back home, I burn it all, lockbox and contents, in the backyard fire pit. Flames devouring paper like absolution. Mom finds me there, ashes smoldering. Val, what? I pull her into a hug. First real one in years. Old ghosts.
Ma.
Gone now. Dad joins.
Tentative?
The three of us silhouetted against the dusk. The Cuyahoga murmuring forgiveness. Lila's trial drags. But appeals fail. She writes once more. Truce? I don't reply. College marches on, graduation. Law school apps. A life unburned. Scars fade to whispers. Family mends and fractures. Revenge? It freed me. But chains too. The happy ending's not tidy. It's scarred. Controversial.
Real.
American as apple pie a la mode with a side of arsenic. Years later, at a backyard barbecue, my own. String lights and solo cups. Kids chase fireflies. My sister-in-law snaps at me to hide the grill tools before they poke an eye out. I laugh. Scars bared in the sunset. Let 'em see. Scars make the story. And damn if it isn't one hell of a tale.